Some of the most exciting scenes of thievery are often seen in cinemas, with heist movies able to sensationalize a fast-paced, thrilling plot, despite the fact that what we are watching is actually a felony in action. Sure, it's all okay because it's just a movie, right? It's not real, especially since not all heists can be as glamorous and as exciting as what Hollywood would want us to believe. Oftentimes, true-to-life thieves and robbers are way more predictable and can even be quite stupid, especially when conducting crimes without considering the fact that nowadays there's simply too many cameras focused on security and safety, leading to an easy, quick solution to the mystery of who done it. In today's video, we're taking a look at 10 of the dumbest robberies caught on camera. This is General District. Before we jump into it, don't forget to click the like button, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for future updates. Number 10. Georgia's store clerk fights back. Robbing a convenience store may sound like a common cliche, especially since it's the most prone establishment, due to cash always being on hand and stores being open 24 hours a day, so it becomes a usual go-to for would-be thieves. But more often than not, these convenience stores prepare for these types of situations by beefing up security and monitoring devices, such as CCTVs. However, the most reliable means of security for these types of stores are the actual employees manning their stations in the direst of situations. This is what happened in 2016 at a convenience store in Georgia, USA, when an unidentified man tried to rob Keysville's convenience store at gunpoint, but instead met a strong-willed clerk who wouldn't let the thievery occur. The unidentified man, dressed in a gray hoodie, was seemingly trying to purchase a can of soda, when suddenly he pulled out a pistol and demanded the lady clerk to empty the register. Incredibly, the clerk bats away the man's gun 2 times, appearing more annoyed than afraid, before grabbing the robber's wrist, while attempting to take the pistol from his hands. Amidst the gun swatting and prying, she was unleashing a beating on the amateur thief, hitting him with her fists and even using parts of the cash register. She even tried to reach for a nearby hammer to bash the guy with some more. Having this futile attempt at theft going totally the wrong way, the man fled the scene before police arrived. Number 9. Customer was a cop. In Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, a full-packed open-air burger joint became a venue for a sudden shootout when unknown men attempted to rob the restaurant. The robbery attempt, however, was thwarted by an off-duty state policeman who was eating at the place. 10 shots were fired in the ensuing chaos, with no injuries reported, with the suspect fleeing the scene immediately, thanks to the cops' brave take to control the situation. Number 8. 8 pairs of jeans. Quite a bizarre incident, which unbelievably, the thief thought she could get away with. A shoplifter in Venezuela tried to step out of a clothing store after going in the fitting room with 8 pairs of jeans. Apparently, she wore all 8 pants on top of what she was wearing and tried to simply walk out of the store before security noticed something was amiss. In the video, the identified lady is seen peeling off each jean layer one by one, with the one taking the video clearly in laughing disbelief. Number 7. Axe-wielding masked robber in Queensland. A brave shopkeeper from Crestmead, south of Brisbane, was able to defend his store from an axe-wielding would-be thief who attempted to rob him. The unknown man, seen and released in CCTV footage, entered the store dressed completely in black with a balaclava covering his face. Upon seeing the dubious intruder, the shopkeeper immediately ran to the back of the store while the masked man began to walk down one of the shop's aisles and revealing a small hatchet axe from under his jacket. The shoekeeper spotted the weapon and started to throw items from the store's shelves at the man, including a full tin can of Pringles chips. Startled by the shopkeeper's defensive projectiles, the attempted robber eventually ran from the store empty-handed to a waiting car and immediately fled the scene. Number 6. Always wear a seatbelt. Ideally, when you're a thief brandishing a weapon to instill fear, you're not supposed to put it down or give it away. This is a stupid lesson for Corey Phillips, who was arrested for first-degree robbery and receiving stolen property in Paducah, Kentucky after robbing the county inn and suites. The 26-year-old thief was seen in CCTV footage wearing a dark long-sleeve shirt with a University of Alabama sock hat on his head, brandishing a gun at the hotel clerk, demanding him to throw money onto the hotel desk. In trying to collect the money, the thief placed his handgun on the countertop, which the clerk immediately grabbed and pointed at the robber, who scrambled out the front door. He even went back and attempted to reclaim the gun, but the female clerk stood her ground. The dumber part of the story is that Phillips was arrested at a traffic stop after being pulled over for not wearing a seatbelt, with the loot from the robbery found inside the car. Number 5. Locked in. A failed robbery attempt occurred at a shop in Nottingham when the would-be robber got locked in as he tried to escape the scene. The failed thief, Jack Burrell, armed with a snooker cue, aggressively asked for the money from the store, but was refused by its staff. His attempts to leave was thwarted since he himself had damaged the doors on his way into the shop. The 19-year-old was jailed for 2 years for attempted robbery and possessing a Class A drug. Number 4. Beaten by a broom. At a Premier store in Bournemouth in southern England, a courageous shopkeeper handled an attempted robbery with quite a handle, literally brushing off a balaclava-clad raider by beating him with a broom handle. The shopkeeper confronted the would-be thief who burst into his store, threatening him with a 12-inch knife. Using a clipboard he was holding as a shield to defend himself, he then grabbed a nearby broom and relentlessly struck the robber on the head so hard that the wooden handle snapped in two. The thief, identified to be 18-year-old Stephen Sherwood, slumped to the floor while the shopkeeper sat over him as a customer in the shop assisted by kicking the knife from Sherwood's hand. They called the police and restrained Sherwood until officers arrived and arrested him. Stephen Sherwood was jailed for 2 years and 3 months for robbery and for possessing an offensive weapon, with the judge who sentenced him claiming that this was a clumsy, drunken robbery, before sending the young man to jail. Number 3. Ill-prepared for a sword fight? An attempted robbery at a jewelry store in Canada was thwarted thanks to store staff who used swords to fight off the thieves. Yes, swords. CCTV footage showed the employees at Al-Shaq Jewelries in the city of Mississauga who were able to fight off the suspect who gained entry to the store by breaking a storefront window. Despite one suspect holding a gun, store staff kept waving and prodding swords at the broken window, restricting the assailants' entry, who all fled immediately. Local police reported no injuries and no stolen property and reminded the public that they do not condone stealing nor the use of swords. Number 2. PAKKA Punjabi. A calm yet feisty Punjabi storekeeper won the internet for the way he dealt with a robber in a shop in the UK. Damanpreet Singh Arora was sitting in his shop while looking at his phone when a robber entered and asked him to empty out the cash register. Showing no signs of being nervous and calmly repeating anything else, Arora then pulled out a baseball bat from under the counter and ran after the fleeing thief out of the shop while swearing in Punjabi. Arora was hailed for his collected and courageous way of dealing with the attempted robbery. Number 1. Champion Chihuahua. An attempt to rob a smoke shop in Altadena, California was thwarted by a guard dog you'd least expect, a snarky little Chihuahua. 2 hooded men, one armed with a rifle, went into the ACE smoke shop, demanding money from the store owner, who then began placing money in a robber's backpack. This was when his Chihuahua erupted into loud, ferocious bark mode, and the 2 robbers, who suddenly ran out of the store with the backpack, eventually taking less money than they could have gotten. While running out, the man with the rifle even pointed it at the small dog, but the pooch was undaunted and chased the pair out of the store and even down the street. Neither the owner nor the dog were injured in the incident due to the Chihuahua's effective reaction. So what do you think about these 10 dumbest robberies caught on camera? We'd love to hear what you think about them by commenting down below. And if you're new to the channel, give us a like, share, subscribe with the notification bell for future updates. Until next time.